Welcome to this week's Fireside Chat with Jesse. I am joined today by Moto Tohda, the VP of Information Systems at Tokyo Century. Thanks for joining me, Moto.
Thank you, Jesse, for having me. And I think
No,
you got my first name pretty good.
all right, good, good. And, editing is not necessarily a great skill set of mine, so at least we don't have to start over again already. It's great to have you on the program, man. It's been a while since I've actually seen you in person, so looking forward to seeing you in this medium, and then probably in a few weeks here in Denver. But thanks for being here, and for those individuals in equipment finance who haven't had the pleasure of meeting you yet, Moto, do you mind just kind of introducing yourself and your career in equipment finance?
Sure. I'm a VP of Information Systems for Tokyo Century USA. We reside in Purchase, New York, which is about 40 minutes north of New York City. And I've been with the company for 18 years now, which was not something that I kind of foresaw coming, but and being the VP of Information Systems, what I do is basically doing everything of thinking about all the technology initiatives for the company and how that excels the business. And of course, that's why I'm keeping the lights on for the company and doing all other stuff, technology. So everything technology happens around me. But I think my forte is becoming more of talking to the business team about, what are the tools available, or how is the business process can integrate with a system process so that they can really change their way of doing business. But yeah, that's a sort of a long career like everybody else in the industry, which is kind of cool. I bumped into this industry just like everybody else. I was a solution architect and ERP architect in my previous life, for a company in New York City, and I met some equipment finance company in New York City, and I started servicing their PC environment or whatever, and that had the ERP system, and that had a actually application from where you came from, the LTI technologies, and I actually spoke with the engineers for troubleshooting, and that's how it started. And I actually did multiple projects with this Tokyo Century, previously known as a Tokyo Leasing back then, and I had a successful projects done. A couple years later, they had an initiative that really they thought about growing their presence in the US, and they needed somebody who can understand technology and who can really push that technology forward. And they invited me to come in. Rest is, rest is history.
Perfect. 18 years later, here you are, right?
Here I am with you.
Yeah, right. And you're like, why am I stuck with you, man? So, so Purchase, New York, beautiful part of the country. One of my first sales territories was there when I used to live in the tri-state area. So at least you don't have to have that commute down to the city, right?
Not real. Yeah, we don't have the office in the city, and a lot of people do. And yeah, that's definitely a luxury. And we are still fully remote, but we do have an office open, so a lot of people do now go back to the office and see each other, collaborate, especially, right? So it's definitely a good balance.
Perfect. And then, do you mind just at a high level talking about Tokyo Century USA? Where you guys, I know you have the purchase location, but any other offices, potential sister companies, or
Yeah.
just
So,
overall?
Tokyo Century is obviously Tokyo, coming from Japan being the head office, and that company has a lot, 8,000 people, I think, and they're on Tokyo Stock Exchange, so they're very big presence in especially in the equipment finance world there. Um, we have the New York been pretty small, but we have a lot of sister companies and brother companies, however we want to call it, and some uh, well-known companies are AP Equipment Financing, FMI Equipment, CSI Leasing, uh, Aviation Capital Group. So Aviation Capital Group, obviously the corporate jets, right? And then CSI is the enterprise computing, and 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 the actually main one in New York is we built the joint venture company about 18 years ago, and I think that's what the reason one of the reason I came in, uh, and this company called Isuzu Finance of America, which is also a member of ELFA, and we're working as a captive finance for Isuzu commercial truck. So.
Perfect. I was with Jim, what, 3 days ago.
Oh, Jim
So
DeFrank, right?
yeah,
Yeah. We know all the people, right? And actually we are celebrating 40 years of anniversary of Tokyo Century USA this year.
congratulations.
Uh,
Congratulations.
so, which is good.
That's perfect. So you guys are all over the place and pretty much have your hands on various types of different assets.
Right. Different industry, different asset type, and different ticket size all over the place, right? But I think we're all trying to help a different customers with that finance needs. And I think that really makes this industry and this portfolios interesting because it is equipment finance, but it's just so many different variation and you learn every day about all these different things, right? So
Well, not only that though, it's like the technology rolls up to you and it's just like, oh, this company has this software. This company has this software, different for floor planning, different for equipment finance. And you
yep.
have to be the, I guess, the puppet master or architect that just has to keep everything flowing. Which I'm sure is, that, yeah, I mean, I guess we can kind of go into that, Moto.
Yeah. Yeah, the puppet master kind of works pretty well, right? And actually, for technology position, it is on kind of not unheard of, but it is not uncommon for you to hold a position for more than, let's say, 5 years, because people try to move on with the career and trying to do to make a bigger impact in technology as you move on a position or you actually move on from a company to another. So people do ask me around my CIO circles, right, all the time, why you were there for 18 years. And the my answer is always this. So if you are stuck in one thing every day, and if you're doing that for 18 years, that's a fail. I'm not building anything out of me, and I'm not getting that impact to the company. But I know that I am always thinking about new initiatives and actually deploying initiatives, talking to the business team, and trying to grow together and change our mindset. And so we're always evolving, right? So if that's happening, then I'm learning every day, every year of a new thing, and I have a hands-on new stuff every day. Then that means you are doing the stuff that you want to do. And the benefit of staying at one place for a long time is then you have a trust of your business team, your peers, right? And then you can do more stuff globally within the company or even internationally in terms of geolocation globally and collaborate with your counterpart in Japan. And one fun fact about that is I have been visiting Japan every year.
I
Um,
was gonna ask how frequently you get to go back.
yeah, and it's a business trip, but I kind of invented it with with the people from Japan back then about 12 years ago. They came to audit, and we had a really good conversation for 2 or 3 days. And I said, now you have my face to the name, and you know why I'm spending that money, and it's for the good cause. And now we have a mutual understanding. This was great, but this can just disappear a few years later once we would go apart, right? So So I said, can we just continue this conversation, more frequently and hopefully annually? And they said yes to that. So, and I have family at home, family in Japan. So I do have a reason to go. So whenever I go, can I just, drop in to have a meeting? And actually that continued for last, I think more than 10 years for sure. And the funny thing is, it used to be just me and the IT department, which is much bigger. So all the IT managers sits across me, and they kind of tell me what they do and what's happening, and I'm sitting by myself, understanding what they do, and also giving them our spiel. And then also as a homework for myself, I bring an idea about a new technology to
Yeah,
Japan. Right? So they'll there's a wow factor that they will kind of understand this is happening. And fast forward now, when I go, and I did go in May this year, I get to meet with IT for sure, but I also speak with the international business division, which is our counterpart on the business. They want to have a meeting with me. Sometimes I got to meet with other departments like audit team, credit team, marketing team.
sure.
Somebody from board of director was nice enough to have 30 minutes with me. So it's, and then I speak with our stakeholders, the external stakeholders with Isuzu or, Itochu as our parent companies. And I got to meet them and talk about technology. And so I think I grew into this position of, being a liaison of not just technology, but between the U.S. business and Japan, the head office, and also I can give a fresh prospect of what's happening in technology, specifically to this industry and elsewhere, right? So uh, that's uh, that's the business trip that I'm
I mean,
enjoying.
it sounds to me like that should be semi-annually. Just saying.
Why not? Well, I did actually propose that in May, and because they said we may have more questions, so I said just call me, and if you fly me in, I would definitely come in anytime,
Oh,
every
I
other
mean,
a month.
New York to like Narita or Haneda. I mean, how far is that? Like,
It's like a 14 hours flight direct.
eh, eh. Hey, at least it's
Not too
direct. No,
bad.
then you start negotiating business class and everything else, and then
Eh,
it's like, yeah, I get it. Now, I had the pleasure of visiting Tokyo for the first time ever last year.
okay,
Um, and wow, is all I can say. It's just,
good food.
oh, thank you. You almost want to fly over just to eat
Yeah, I I totally agree that sentiment.
food, technology. I mean, we can go on forever, but like the bathrooms, it's like you go and it's like ridiculous. Like, how do I
Yeah,
get one of these in my bathroom?
it flips, right? Yeah,
Yeah. So that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. And you mentioned earlier you kind of originally kind of were just there to keep the lights on, but you're not only doing that, but you're almost like looking for additions that you're going to be adding to the building. So you're the multiple hats that you wear.
yeah,
I mean, you're doing probably more than a traditional CIO does, quite frankly, especially with all the, I guess, affiliate organizations
yeah,
you guys have.
yeah. That's definitely what I always try to push myself to do. Um,
Sure. And then we'll just kind of we'll move this along to kind of technology trends. Because I constantly see you on LinkedIn adding different certifications, and I know, I mean, AI is continuing to expand. I know this isn't going to release probably till the first Wednesday in September, but last night I was messing around with something on ChatGPT 4 and it turned to ChatGPT 5 like
yeah,
instantly. I'm like, what just happened? Like wait, where did it go? So, um, you want to just have a technology conversation, Moto, and kind of what you're
yeah,
seeing right there. And I mean, it's moving so fast; it's hard to make any predictions. But I guess how are you leveraging AI?
So luckily, I'm this year I am part of the innovation committee, and I'm chair of a subcommittee which manages basically the TED Talks for the industry around technology. So that's my title this year, and we are doing what's called innovation experience, which is a five session workshop. Um, and I think we have our fourth coming next week. So this leads up to the actual Innovation Lab, the conference coming back in Denver. But yeah, we came pretty long way with AI, right? And I mean, we've been talking about it at every conference. I've been speaking about it all the time, but now I think it is here in our industry more or less, right? Which we're not always the fastest to adapt the new technology.
You talking about? We got DocuSign throughout COVID, so that was a big thing, right?
Which we struggle too. So, but uh, yeah, the AI is here. The problem or why the AI is still kind of stay in the hype zone is that it is difficult to implement. Right? Like you can use it daily, as you were mentioning about ChatGPT to just search for it, putting together documents, putting together brainstorming, um, that kind of stuff for everyone's everyday lives. But if you're trying to change the world, that's a very different question, right? And how to get there is something that everyone's struggling, and the biggest factor behind the scene is your own data. So you ha now, and we are doing this too. So, you have to continuously cleaning up your data. You have to always make sense out of it, in order for AI to even understand what you're doing, right? But the AI capability is definitely there. AI can work for you 24/7, and it will learn. And once it learns, usually they don't forget, right? So even the mundane tasks can be automated without AI, but AI can continue to learn. That's the part that is different from a original automation type of technology, right? And then now, the AI is driving into more of a AI being a facilitator of other AIs. So that's called supervisor AI for AI agents. So AI agent is the one AI task that's running, but AI supervisor can actually tell AI agent what to do and what to actually run and what to come back with, and even request additional tasks to that particular agent to do. And the facilitator is also an AI, right? The supervisor is an AI, and so it can run 24/7, and that AI agent could be one or it could be thousand, and it can run through your data, giving you analysis or automate the process, that kind of stuff. So especially if you see some manufacturing, you know, the plants will is now completely dark in the manufacturer plant for like a consumer car, and I've seen this, and the reason that the plant is pitch dark is there's no human, and the machine doesn't need light, and that's kind of obvious, but we kind of say like, why
I
this
know, but
completely
it's
pitch
like,
dark?
wait, how do I know if it's working if it's dark? It's like there's something else watching it, dude.
Right. So everything gets automated, and people kind of let the AI to start doing that process. So that is definitely a game changer. And the workshop that we're doing is actually very fascinating. It started out with what is AI, the generic information about how to get started, but we're now getting into more of what is the use case of in the equipment finance that AI can be used. And there's a demo about the actual detail of how it works and what kind of data you should use, we run a live demo of the the chat GPT like prompting. And so I think people will get a lot out of that. And especially you're talking about process with coding or process with underwriting, all the stuff that we've been talking about for years to improve, and we are improving it. But I think they can lend us another hand to really change that process, and also maybe you can flip a lot of the traditional processes that you've been doing, because now AI is capable of doing certain things that we could not automate previously. So yeah, I mean it's great, but again, I've been telling everybody that AI is not the golden solution to
Right.
every issue that you have. It is still just a tool. So, you can't just do a AI strategy or AI first blindly, but you want to always tackle what are the issues that you want to resolve, and look for AI more aggressively, because they may be the newest way. And again, like the innovation is not just improving a traditional process in a little bit of a better way, right? Innovation can be completely switching how you used to see the process or how you used to run the process. And it's sort of you need that courage to take that change, right? So I think innovation is both ways. It's a new change, and it's a fast change, but it's also the people change with courage to accept, adapt the change, and being creative about how you used to run these things for 40 years that into a completely different process, but it makes sense to you and it makes sense to your customer, right?
I mean, spot
So
on. I mean, change management's probably one of the biggest hurdles that you probably stumbled across for the last 2 decades, right? I
yeah,
mean, you can have the greatest tool out there, but if people aren't going to use it, number one, use it. Number two, use it the right way.
yeah,
It's like, what are we doing here? And I think it's the same way with AI. People think that like, oh, this is just going to do all these things for me, and it's like it's complementary. That's probably not a great word, but it will help you be more efficient. It's not going to really make you be more successful because you still have to put in the freaking work.
yeah, a lot of work. And somebody did tell me about these projects. I mean, when I actually presented a solution about 7 years ago around data, like a big data, what it used to be called, right? They literally, one person actually came up to me and said, "That's a rocket science. I don't need that rocket science."
What was it? What was it? Was it blockchain? It's like blockchain. Come on, it wouldn't go. And then I think like a year later, people were like, "What's that?"
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the change management is the big key to have adoption of technology and blockchain. That change management wall is just way too high because there's just so many stakeholders, external stakeholders that you have to have them agree to what you are trying to do, and that's almost impossible unless you're the, top of the food chain.
You just force it.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, so that's yeah. No. So you're doing workshop number 4. For those individuals like myself who haven't taken a part of those, I don't believe there was a registration fee to join them. I think you guys are just
No,
doing them.
yeah, it's
Are
it's
there
all.
are the recordings out there? Because I tried to
Yep.
join the last one, but as you know, when something presents itself, you're just like, all right, I got to be client facing. I can't have time for this. So, what website is go onto the
Yeah, I
eflaonline.org.
can share you the
Okay.
website, but yeah, the webinar page of the ELFA has all the recording of the past sessions, and definitely I think it would be nice to just it's a 1 hour straight webinar, so just watch with your um whatever whenever you have time. But the last one definitely is something that is interesting for you.
Okay. And is that a good precursor to the innovation lab coming up in
Yep,
Denver?
yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you'll have a lot more deeper understanding about AI by then, if we go through this workshop. So that was the purpose, and that's why we recorded this webinars so that people can come back to it time to time, and we call it innovation experience, um, right? So
Got it. So I'm sorry, I'm shifting a little bit here, but so I guess since we're talking about the innovation lab, um, walk me through kind of that format. Like, is it going to be more? Are we just going to be in like a normal room? It's going to be more one-on-one, or is it not best practice? Is it more of an actual workshop, Moto?
so I'm not leading to build that conference, so I don't have
Okay,
all
no
the
worries.
details.
Okay, no, no worries. I should have asked Daryl a little bit more because I was like, wait, is it still going to be like some panelists with some Q&A? I was just trying to understand that
No,
because it's
we
something
have
new.
all, I think we have all, all that. I think we have a panel discussions, we have a people coming to talk about it. And I think it is very heavily um around AI, right? And then that kind of pushed people away a little bit. I kind of got some feedback, but so this is something that we should really work on as organization. But when you look at the individual sessions, it is towards how we can help the operations, right? So it is the operation technology, the whole flavor still there. But since the AI and automation is most of what's around the world, document automation or everything has to do with AI. So when you see AI on every session, people will be like, "Oh, this is not for me. This is for technologists." So, but I think they did a really good job of crafting it so that it does cover a lot of the important issues and topics that people are interested in that 3 day. So
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, like anything else, right? Like we talk about change management, people are like, where's ops and tech at? Innovation lab. Like, what? No. But it's like
Well,
anything else AI related, right? I mean, our team now has our note takers in the majority of our meetings, and it just makes it so much easier. It's
yeah,
like the follow-ups and everything. I mean, even some of the products that we're working on where people are like, hey, how can we leverage this technology? And I'm like, look, customer service and collections, like repeatable process. When someone calls in, they're going to call in for what, 3 to 5 things.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
difficult. How do we automate that? Because those are jobs that are just hard to continually keep people in,
yeah.
So what do we do
And
to
people
automate
can be
those?
doing all other things that's more
It's
productive,
just
right?
exactly, you're not going to be replacing people. If anything, you can do more with less, yes, but it's easier.
Yeah. No, easier is the word, right?
Um, and then on the I guess the continuous learning that you're doing,
Yeah, yeah.
I guess when you sit there and see a certification or a class, like what stands out of you as saying, okay, why am I going to invest my time in doing this? And I guess how frequently are you doing this?
Yeah, so one good thing is I have a executive MBA with a school called Quantic Technology, School
Okay.
of Technology, I think but Quantic with the Q. Um, they are very innovative school. They are still getting award every year as a fintech in education because this is pre-COVID. They built this entire MBA system online and self-paced self-service way. So no campus, no professors, but you can literally really learn all the stuff that you need to learn about MBA.
Oh,
And yeah, and I
okay.
was actually one of the first few years student to actually got the offer, got accepted to the program, and spend the whole instead of 2 years, they actually finished this in 1 year. But you actually do all the work. You have team of your cohorts, and since there's no campus, you can have people sign up from everywhere in the globe. So I have people from Europe, I have people from Asia in the same cohort of about 200 people, and and we had a capstone project. We actually had a conference, in-person conference after COVID or right before COVID. So
Where was
we
that at?
realized that
Where was that located?
they do it everywhere. Like we had it in DC. I actually went to one in Dublin. They just did it in Barcelona. I think they're doing it one in Vancouver coming up. So yeah, and when I actually went to that conference, everybody who we met, we said, okay, we now know that this wasn't a scam. You know, it wasn't the AI bot talking to you in the chat.
You walk in, it's just an empty warehouse.
Yeah.
You're just like, "Oh, okay.
But they're accredited organizations, so I have my MBA through them, and yeah, I saw the power once COVID hit, obviously, right? Like because everything had to be out of the norm of out of in person anything. So and also the advantage of them is they have the actual school program open to all the alumni. So you can continue to, it's an app, right? And then also online web app. So you can always continue to go back and they can continue to add new stuff like data science, AI kind of thing. And so I kind of trying to, keep up with it. But of course, people are talking about continuing education and they came up with the executive certification on AI of how to bring AI to a business. That was the topic that I found and I applied and I got in. So I did that, and then they extend that a little bit further and AI doing a chat GPT to build software. So that was another certification I did, which is a hands-on. And Jesse, I think you'll love this because all you need is chat GPT and and how to ask questions, and it will build the entire full-blown Python application without you writing any code. And you just keep right.
You don't need to have like Python or anything on your computer.
Well, you do. So you want
Okay.
to install Python, but you just use it to run it to see the results, and it can build a website with the application running and all through ChatGPT. So that I was like everybody else, I was using it more casually on a lot of things, but now I realize that I can build all these different things that can impact your company right away in like 30 minutes or not not 2 weeks anymore, right? So it's constantly, and then the user can even start building those. Of course, security will be in consideration, but so that's that. And of course I think I have way too much free time. So I decided uh just this Monday to accept the offer for a certificate in the CTO track. So I started doing that, and that's actually a 11-month, I think, a pretty long, very rigorous
Ah, okay.
certification process. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that done. And it's I think to me certification is not just something that you can brag about, but um, it's always very effective once you actually have the experience and you go back to school to get that certification because you know the stuff already, but those stuff are all the little points that in your head. But those certification doing learning will tie those into lines, and it makes sense out of it, and it makes it more logical in your head, and gives you a better understanding and deeper understanding and somewhat. So I always encourage my team also to get your hands on first, learn it, and you will learn it from it. But then once you get settled down, you can go back and get a certification, and then that will literally get you up to the next level. So I think that's to me, it works as a very effective way of getting trained, and as a technologist, I need to keep focusing on what's out there, what's new, what could be coming, I'm
Sure.
already listening in on webinars about quantum computing, for example, yesterday, and I'm like, and they said it's coming in next few years, and I said,
Just
well,
like,
we haven't even got AI down yet. What are you
what?
talking about? You know, so but it's this continuing motion of learning and thinking about whether that's for us, you know, and that asking the self-asking questions is the big part of what I do, I think.
Sure. So I have two questions for you.
Yeah,
I guess the first one is more when you're in Dublin, please tell me you drank Guinness.
I was drinking Guinness every night,
All right,
every
all right.
day. I went to that, yeah, the Guinness
St.
museum
James Brew.
and
Yeah,
learned how to
it's like,
brew.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And you're sitting there and it's like, like your mouth
yeah.
underneath the tap. It's so good. I mean, there's
And
some good places in New York that you can get close.
right.
Arizona, not so much. It's no. Over there, you're just like, oh, so
And
good.
yeah, you just wonder, right? And people always say that, and then you just go there, and it's like, oh, it's same. Like we have a lot of Irish pubs in New York. It must be the same, but it's so smooth like water, but it tastes so good. Yeah, I'll go back in a second.
I've done a couple 3-day weekends in Dublin.
Nice.
Even from Arizona, I don't care. It's like just
Right.
let me go drink the kids.
That works.
And the other question I have is on a more business perspective. Now, when you're having these technology conversations with executives, um, are they being more receptive? Because if you came to me a couple of years ago and you were like AI, I'm like, dude, like I just don't have time for this. Like I got real world things here. But now, I wasn't blowing it off. It was more of a you got to kind of focus on what's in front of you as opposed to what potentially is there. But I guess now with it being everywhere, are people being more receptive to when you sit there and say, hey, we need to leverage this and here's my ideas on how to?
They are, and I'm actually all over them all the time, and that's probably helped, you know,
Uh,
especially over the years, right?
yeah,
They gave up maybe, but no, they started to feel that there are technologies out there and that can help them out, and we're actually going through an exercise internally and um, to start thinking in a different way, like the design thinking uh, method, and not really stuck on how you are used to be doing your process, your business. And again, I said stuck, but that's not the bad way. Like
no,
you're the expert, right? You know
yeah,
exactly how to do it, and you're doing it really well. But like I said, the innovation meaning that let's stop and think about it, and maybe you can completely do this different way, and it may give you a better satisfaction at the end and as well as the customer, right? So, and if we are always thinking about customer satisfaction, then this is a good time. And then there are tools that can help you to connect what you desire and the actual process. So, yeah, luckily I have a lot of really well-respected business team members, and we're very transparent. So they will ask questions, a lot of questions, but they will also listen to me, like as I kind of come up with ideas. So yeah, we're starting to move to that direction. I feel it.
perfect. I mean, it's just the reality of it. It's the point here. It's like it's not an if, it's a when. It's already here. So it's are you going to get on board or are you going to be really left behind?
Yep.
Like, that's what I see.
And it will be too
Um,
late, right?
I
Once
know,
you
right? It's like good luck catching up. Anyhow, neither here nor there, man. But I'll make sure I'm cognizant of our time here. So I know you mentioned one of the fun facts you had was you were able to negotiate an annual trip out. We're trying to turn that into a semi-annual trip, so we got that going. And then outside of work in technology, what do you enjoy doing?
so some people know this, but I'm a singer and I'm a runner. So I think those two are my big hobbies. I've been singing for, so I'm singing with this private uh, Japanese choir in New York City for the last 22 years. I
Yeah,
ran it. I was the musical director, and this year I'm relieved from all those and I'm singing alone. But singing
awesome.
is a lot of fun for me, and taking voice lessons. Uh, so that's definitely fun. I'm also a marathon runner. I've been running
Yeah.
New York City for 11 times in a row, kind of thing.
Tired just
So,
thinking about. I'm tired just thinking about
and,
that.
and and training in Arizona is a little bit hard because it's a little too hot for me. But yeah, I try to train and run a couple marathons a year, and this year I'm running in Chicago and New York City. So October, November is the due.
So this
So
means, I guess, if you go to Marco Island, we can have you maybe standing up next to Alexa, and you guys both sing. I mean,
actually, I asked to do that, and she was actually open for that, but that kind of disappeared somewhere.
see if we can get that fire back up here, man. It'd be hilarious. Great. Awesome.
Maybe offline I can do that with her. Little duet.
Well, and I'm sure now there's some groups out there where you can run and sing at the same time. It'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
of course.
I don't know if you want to do that. I would sound horrible.
We did a lot of karaoke's in back in Omaha, if you remember.
Yes, we did. We did. And I was going to kind of lead this interview with a non-traditional exit question of mine, but
Okay.
more on the kind of like just industry relationships that you acquired over the last 18 years and kind of what they've meant to, your professional career and I guess just you personally, Moto.
I'm sure everybody says similar things, but this is a very tight industry. I feel, I've been looking at every other industry as a solution provider, in my previous life. So at least I know how it is in the other places. But this is very tight, and with the LFA, we are it's surprising from other people outside to see us helping each other, actually, talking to each other about a issues, and trying to help out. That I thought is a really cool thing that's going on. And it's not just a business help, but technology help, personal help. Like, you can ask for it, and you get it, right? So my career definitely excelled with the industry because of, thanks to everybody else. Like, I'm now part of the innovation committee, like that kind of involvement, and talking in a panel, like having a session, that really drives me to be at forefront of what's happening, not just technology, but with the industry, and know know what's happening so that I can try to help out in return, right? So the whole pay it forward kind of concept is pretty much there in this industry, and I love it. And I want to continue to do that. And as definitely as a technologist. And here's a question for you. I know you're doing that whole inviting professionals to join the industry, by doing sessions for business school and stuff in Arizona, and I kind of volunteered one time to do a session, but
Yeah.
I'm on the technology side, so maybe that was not so relevant. But if it is, then I can.
No, I mean, honestly,
And,
like when we go into those campus to career, I think is what they're called now.
mm,
By all means, I mean, I've been in business development, Moto, my entire career, and I've been doing the consulting full time for 3 years. But let's face it, my major skill set is on the business development side. Um, basically a connector. So when I go in there, it's like you have this person who does that person that does that, and I'm just like, look, there's a diverse level of skill sets within here. If you want to be a technologist, let's talk about Moto's path.
yeah,
Let's talk about his path and how he's got there. So next time you come out here, you know, just let me know and we'll get it set up at ASU because I've done like four of them. and
Yeah, I've been
they're,
seeing that.
they're fun. Sometimes they can be a little challenging because you bring like four people and there might be like four kids, but you know what? You take the photo where it looks like there's 40. I guess we can leverage AI for that too. So anyhow,
Yeah, but
but
no,
yeah, okay.
you're doing a lot of great stuff as with the cares and and I admired your passion in that side of things, and I want to help out
Thank you.
whenever possible. You know.
I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate your time today. Look forward to seeing you. I guess by the time this airs next week in Denver.
It's the magic happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
see you next week
yeah.
in Denver.
All right, man. Well, thanks for your time today, Moto. Congratulations on all your success today at Tokyo Century, and yeah, I'm excited to. I have some 5 hours, I guess 4 hours worth of catching up to do on those webinars, and
Please,
I'll be on the last one. So
highly
thanks a
recommend it.
lot, man. All right,
Thank
sir.
you, Jesse.
Thank you. Take care. Have a good day.